Israel, God's people. Ever wondered how the journey unfolded? Here's a snapshot through the Old Testament. Skip past nature boy Adam and Dr. Noah Doolittle. We're picking up the story with the first ever Jew, Abram. He lives in a place called Ur. It's not as bad as it sounds. One day, Abe hears God, pack your bags and move to Haran. From Haran, he treks to Canaan, presses on to Egypt. And after all that, he goes back to Canaan, which also wasn't as bad as it sounds. Then God's people get settled in. Meet Joseph. He's a bit of a show-off, struts around in his fancy robe and brags to his brothers that he's dad's favourite. Humble guy then. They beat him and sell him into slavery. Brotherly love. Joe ends up in Egypt and goes from prisoner to prime minister, rescues his fam from famine, and they all hug it out. But things don't stay cosy for long, with Pharaoh by name but not fair by nature. He makes some slave labour God's people want out. Enter Moses. As a chat with God through a burning bush, God gives Moses the mic. Let my people go! But Pharaoh's having none of it. No. So God centre parts the waters and his people stroll the seabed to freedom. Awesome. Next, there's talk of a purpose-built place for God's people, but first comes a 40-year wait. The baton passes to Joshua, one of the 12 spies. They spy Promised Land. God's people get settled in, split into 12 families, but they don't stay in touch or poke on Facebook until they're fed up again poked around. They want a king. Next up, Saul, a man's man. He gets the post but doesn't deliver on uniting the families. Enter new king, David. Warrior by day, singer of epic love songs to God by night. Dave gains ground and expands the land. Then, son Solomon, bit of a ladies' man, but he's a wise bloke too. Honestly, he'd run rings round Yoda. He continues what his old man started. More land, but more wives and more questions too. Next, the crown was Rehoboam, who botches it up. Advisors tell him to go easy, so he raises taxes and chucks scorpions at people. As you do. If the tribe's a team, he loses the dressing room. God's people split. 10 up north, 2 south. A bit later, the northern lot get an offer from the Assyrians that they can't refuse. Then the Babylonians make a similar offer down south. Jerusalem's in rubble, they kick the king out and get shot at the temple. With Jews scattered and living out of suitcases, God decides it's time he gets his home back. He appoints Haggai and Zechariah as chief architects of the temple, Mark II. They go field of dreams on us. If we build it, they will come. And they smash it out of the park. Next, Bible boy Ezra and Nehemiah, king of cup carrying, build a big wall round said temple, so enemies think twice before invading. Nice work, boys. Time and again, men and women step up to answer the call for obedience. And it wasn't just the Jerusalem locals. Back in Persia, young Jewish girl Esther wins the next top queen competition and puts her life on the line to save her people. Well in, Est. Talk about the right place, the right time, eh? Though something tells me God had something to do with it. So there we are, journey of God's people in a really big nutshell. And the next 400 years, it's the Greeks and Romans who are trending. Romans even end up calling the shots in Jerusalem. People start asking, where's God? He answers, through the obedience of a pregnant virgin and her carpenter fiancé. Something tells me that story will forever change the course of history.